What's up, everybody? It's me, Joey P, Joe Pizzapia, and this is Fantasy Pros MLB leading off. That's, of course, the Welsh, and it's all of you, the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, hanging out here, just talking baseball on a fun Friday. A lot to get to. We've got some minor league notes, a ton of them, a big injury to talk about. But first, Welsh, we have an ongoing theme here on the program. Some say you look like John Lackey. I say you look like Rico Brogna when he played with the Arizona Diamondbacks. A lot of people think that they see you in places. And one of our fans of the show, I wanted to point this out, hit us up on the Twitter machine. And he said that he thought you looked like a young Mac Miller there, or maybe an older Mac Miller. He looks like a young Welsh.
A fatter older. That looks like a younger Welsh, yes.
I got to tell you, though, I never thought of that one. I don't know if you've gotten this one. But I wanted to bring this up at the top for all the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks and everybody watching on demand on our YouTube channel, Fantasy Pros MLB, and of course live on Twitch, twitch.tv/FantasyPros, that this one, I don't know if you get this when you're out, but maybe what you should do is, start making some reservations at some restaurants as him, see if you can get some better tables. What do you think?
Well, a couple things with that. Don't think I can unless we live in zombie world. I'm not sure if you're aware, Mac Miller is not alive. So that
people don't know that.
Wouldn't quite work. I have not gotten Mac Miller, but I will say of all of the ones that I've got, I'll take it. I'll take in my large, vast chest of variants. Like there is an entire MCU, the WCU, the Welsh Cinematic Universe, where I'm Whack Miller here. I'm definitely skinnier. I see it. I'll take it. I'm here for it. It is not offensive, but it is now the long list. The list of my variants might be as big as my best friends. So I don't know. But yes, there is something there. Like I said, when I'm skinnier, and heavily on drugs, then you definitely Mac Miller.
Well, there's still time at the end of the show. But I'm telling you, I think that there's an opportunity, but I think most people don't realize. They just know the name, they hear it, and they go, oh, and then they could Google a picture. Although if they see, I guess maybe that kind of ruins it. Oh, unalived.
It's time zones. What do I know?
I couldn't name a Mac Miller song for you. But
where do I? You can
but
find
again,
me.
I knew he existed, and you kind of do have a Mac Miller quality, which is fun.
Yeah. He got Ariana Grande, so we're here for it.
That's right. Also, I wanted to start the show with something fun because we got depressing news at the top of the show. It's big news. AJ Smith-Shawver, not good. So it was a weird confluence of events yesterday because he got hit by a ball, right? That came back at him, and everyone's like, oh, no, I hope he's okay. He stayed in the game, and I don't know if it was the next pitch or just the next at-bat, but then you saw the moment where the elbow popped, and Spencer Strider, I don't know if you saw this and saw the whole thing, Spencer Strider went immediately to the manager and said, you got to get him out of there, you got to get him out of there. It popped, like, basically. He knows, Spencer Strider knows what it looks like. So AJ Smith-Shawver automatically goes to the IL. He's going to go for further evaluation. It's terrible. He's been really good, a 3.86 ERA. The last start wasn't so hot, though. 1.42 whip. So the trend hadn't been as good recently. And I wonder if the elbow had been bothering him and he was trying to work through it. And now the Braves have a hole in their rotation, as do fantasy managers. So let's try to, first of all, talk about where we go from here in redraft, and then what it's going to look like here for AJ Smith-Shawver. They say, well, he's going to miss a few weeks, but Welsh, I think you and I both look at this and go, it feels like a Tommy John when something pops.
He's going to need a little bit more than just self-care. AJ Smith-Shawver is in trouble, especially because the number one thing I take away from all of it is on the mound. He looked at his manager and he's like, I heard something pop. That's never good. There's never a good ending to that. So yeah, I think this is going to be a bad run. And I think even after the game, they said this is like a significant injury, and we know what realm that goes. So yeah, he'll take some time off. It's probably going to be for things to taper down. Then they're going to take a longer look. I would have a decent expectation that he's going to miss significant time. If you got your IL spots, I'm never one to be like, just throw out the guy, for no reason. Even if we think he is going to be out for the season, we just don't have a confirmation. Go and put it out there. Go and put him on the IL. Wait to see. But I have a full expectation that he's going to be done. So he's going to be gonzo in redraft. And if this is as bad as we think it's going to be, it does hurt the dynasty value, especially the keeper value more than anything. Because if you're keeping like 8 or 10 guys, he might have been in the discussion, especially if it was like a cheap coster around.
Sure.
It's not just going to be if he's going to miss all of next year. This is being dramatic about it.
Well, look, Holmes will stick in the rotation now. We know that. So who plugs in that 5th spot for them? Because I'm not holding my breath. Get Ronaldo Lopez hurt, Smith-Shawver hurt. Within the organization, is there somebody that you think can? I mean, I don't want to see Bryce Elder again. That's for damn sure.
Well, you're probably going to see Bryce Elder. That'll be the one. He'll be the one called up. But the guy to take a look at, he's had a little bit of rough go. Hurston Waldrep was a guy that we saw last year. He kind of moved up pretty quick. Still giving up some stuff. He's cleaning up the arsenal. Is he going to be a reliever? Is he going to be a starter? I think that's someone that they could end up taking a look at, but 1,000% they need to go and look at the trade market. I don't know who they trade with right now because, Sandy is a pile of garbage and what teams are selling and stuff like that, but they are going to be in the market for someone 100%.
Yeah, I just don't see, you're looking at the Orioles who are out of it, the White Sox who are out of it. The Athletics are starting to, they're, just the record of in the month of May has just been just dreadful, just overall. The Marlins are out of it. The Pirates are out of it. So where does that arm come from? I don't know. I mean, Mitch Keller would be the guy, I think, of all those teams that I could just say, okay, if there's one guy that I'd want, it's Mitch Keller. But we'll keep a close eye on that.
Pitching today.
What happens. Yeah, he's pitching today. Also, if you're watching the show, make sure you drop your comments below. You know why? Because we got a Jose Ramirez jersey that's going to be given away by the time we get back on Monday. This is your last chance. Drop your comments, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell till it goes ding. PristineAuction.com. That's who's giving this bad boy away right here on the channel. Make an effort to go to PristineAuction.com too. I told everybody, amazing stuff on there for your man cave, your fan cave, your woman cave, whatever cave you got. Father's Day, birthday, I don't know, any day. Nixon 7, whatever. Any day you want, go to Pristine Auction and Jose Ramirez jersey can be yours. So get on there. Lee is trolling me in the chat. Says, guy from New Jersey wearing Pats gear. Shame, Joe. First of all, I'm not from New Jersey. I'm from New York. And when I grew up in New York, I realized a couple things. Buffalo was very far away, and the Jets and Giants played in Jersey. So in 1993, in my youth, I became a Patriots fan. Went through the Bill Parcells years with Willie McGinnis and Chris Slade and Curtis Martin. Had my Drew Bledsoe jersey into the Pete Carroll years and subsequently into the Dynasty. So I'm not a bandwagon Patriots fan either, but I appreciate, Lee, you trying to call me out to the table. I'm always ready. I'm always ready for you. Let's get to another thing here. Chris Sale's always ready. Outstanding performance from him. He got 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. Every time him and Wheeler match up, it's an over. That's the second time this year. And I was going to bet it yesterday. Just
I had the under.
On principle. And I was like, you know what? Because last time I remember specifically, I was like, oh, I'm taking the under. There's no way this game goes over. Wrong. 100% wrong. He got his 25,000th strikeout. It's actually the least amount of innings to get that mark, which I thought was pretty impressive for one Mr. Chris Sale. Not impressive, Zack Wheeler. I don't know why. He's just struggles against the Braves. 6 runs and 4 hits, 5 1/3. Welsh, any takeaways from this matchup? That again was all Chris Sale.
Sale looked phenomenal. I was actually texting with a friend of the show, Dennis Sidler, who helped provide us with some of the Chris Sale stuff. I've mentioned this before, but he has a long history. Actually, The Athletic wrote an article about his relationship with Chris Sale. He's an awesome guy, but we were talking about Sale, and I was just like, there was nobody easier to buy in the first month of the season. This is revisionist because it doesn't matter now, but there just was like nobody easier to buy that he was going to fix it. And he looked lights out yesterday. He was, he was getting all the lefties out. Schwarber was having fits with him, and he just kind of regained it. And, not taking any self-preservation of like what he did for himself, but giving the credit to the pitching coaches and some of the other pitchers helping him. And he's still got a couple more years into it in this like Hall of Fame looking career, but I thought he looked phenomenal. But both of these guys look good early on, because I watched this game through like the first 4 or so, and then it opened up and it was that one big inning, 4 earned runs, Ozzie hitting that big homer. Through the first 3, these guys both looked like this was going to be a 1-0 game. So I don't know what the takeaway is outside of like Chris Sale is vaulted back up. Actually, let me ask you, Chris Sale or Jacob deGrom rest of season?
Chris Sale. That's easy.
Okay.
I got no chill on that one, Welsh. How about you?
Yeah, no, I'm Chris Sale as well.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's a pretty easy one right there. Breaking news too. Chandler Simpson just got sent down, and I had to go run to verify. Not that I don't trust the Peanuts and the Cracker Jacks, but they
Dude,
reinstated Jank Mangum and optioned Chandler Simpson. This is a fantasy tragedy. He had 3 steals yesterday.
about 90 seconds ago, if you rewind, you'll see my face react. I probably got a little Mac Miller. I was like,
what that was. I saw it and I was like, that can't be true.
but
right?
I didn't want to jump over you. And since I knew
No,
we
it's
had a
okay.
Ray coming up, I was going to wait to do it here.
It
I
can't.
am
It's too big of a news.
shocked that they
What?
did this. 100% manipulation has to be based on service time of, what, excuse me, what amount of time he would be in the majors. They have to be sending him down so he goes under that number, because there is no reason. He has been lights out. The average is up. He's stealing bases. He makes tons of contact. It makes this isn't Jordan Walker from that year. Remember he hit 270 and they sent him down? This makes no sense out of pure manipulation. This one actually shocks me. I couldn't believe when I saw it. I was like, this doesn't look real.
It's wow. I mean, I feel manipulated with just as a fantasy person. So, and it's funny because in our Fantasy Pros League, I just picked him up and I was like, you know what? I need some more stolen bases here. I'm going to pick up Simpson. I just can't ignore it anymore. I can handle him in that lineup I have. And then he gets sent down today.
Rays with Simpsons. Dope.
Oh, God. Anyway, at least another Ray has been good. Junior Caminero, 3 for 5 with a homer, career high 6 ribbies. He's been hot. We've been talking about it. So remember, he's only 21 years old. I think people forget that sometimes about Junior Caminero. He's still just a boy. Sure, the slash is still not great, but this is what we want. We want him to get red hot, and hopefully this continues. MacKenzie Gore, I bet the under on the 7.5, and of course he went 8 strikeouts. So good for him. He's the first guy to reach 100 strikeouts. 2 other Nationals have been the first in a season to reach 100 strikeouts. Welsh, Peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Would you like to guess whom that might be?
That said, I'm sorry, what was it that they reached? What?
There's been 2 Nationals who have been the first in a season to reach 100 strikeouts.
Okay, Strasburg has got to be one.
That is one.
And then Scherzer?
That is correct. Gosh,
Okay.
You're so smart and handsome. Good. You're handsome, you're smart. You've got it all.
Good enough. I'm smart enough. Gosh darn it. People like me.
People like you. They do. They like you, Welsh. All right, let's continue. I'm trying to
hold on.
Simpson now.
No, yeah, hold on. On MacKenzie Gore. This is the only thing I wanted to stop.
Oh,
here.
Sure. Yeah, please.
MacKenzie Gore is so tough from a valuation standpoint that I think.
How tough is he? Sorry,
you got me.
Had to.
I think he tests the limits of like, do I sell super high on him versus wanting to, keep going? I think you want to keep going. I think MacKenzie Gore is pushing that line as obviously he's performed at the level of like a top 10 SP this year. But you look, he's lowered his walks this year while raising the strikeouts. 36% K percentage, 7% walk rate. It's a sub 3.5 ERA, which is phenomenal. And it's been that secondary stuff, man. His curveball and slider, 46 and 49% whiff rate. As a matter of fact, I've mentioned this before, it's still holding. Those 5 pitches, 4 of those 5 pitches have a 46 or higher percent whiff rate, and his fastball has been pretty money as well. Even though it's got a 300 batting average against, I think MacKenzie Gore has solidified himself as a no doubt top 15 SP the rest of the year. And I think there's some tough decisions out there. I'll give you one right now. I take MacKenzie Gore over George Kirby rest of year. And I don't know how that feels with him healthy.
Oh, I'm fine with that.
Okay. I mean, he got banged up a little bit, but like you think about the value, I think there's some other big ones. How about Framber Valdez or MacKenzie Gore?
I
think I'm going to go Gore.
Head to head, I want Gore because I want those big strikeout totals in a weekly basis. But Framber I think Framber gives you more wins and Roto in a season long. And Framber's just so solid. Like, he's just such an that's like my soft spot is Framber Valdez. You know that. I love Framber. Like, if I was having a rotation, if we were doing like some MLB The Show startup, I'd want Framber Valdez in the draft in my rotation. I just want that guy. Like, he's just a good pitcher. But I get it. I mean, in certain formats, especially where strikeouts matter more or strikeouts are 2 points or something, I want Gore. That's for sure. Shout out to Axe Double, who resubbed with Prime. Remember, when you go sub here on the channel, you get rid of all those nasty ads and you go right to us. More of us. That's what you need. Ernie Clement. How about a day for him? How about a day for the Blue Jays? Can we just talk about that for a second? 3 for 5 with a homer for Clement. A double, 5 ribbies. Bo Bichette hit a homer and doubled. Vlad hit his 8th home run of the season. Jose Barrios had 9 strikeouts. The Athletics are struggle busts, and a good night for the Blue Jays, Welsh.
Very good night for the Blue. Very good night for Welsh. With the Vladimir Guerrero homer beating up on Lopez and beating up on the A's, and just a matter of time with a lot of these guys.
Right? Because
We did. That was super annoying, by the way. You hadn't had a homer in forever. Really wasn't getting any, and it was like, let me get a little bit more of a lead. But you and I are still a little bit far away. But definitely annoyed that of all the days we got him together.
I had a homer last Friday. Oh, it's forever. It's been a week. I was a little cold. I'm back. Let's go. Ozzie Albies, he was cold, but he's starting to heat up too. Don't look now. We talked about just sometimes you just buy low on a player on principle. Ozzie Albies, one of those guys. He homered, walked, drove in 3 runs yesterday, so good for him. And Mike Trout apparently is going to return today, Welsh. How are your feelings about that?
My feelings are great. It's a great day.
He's fine. Brendan Woodruff needs 5,000 rehab starts. Mike Trout needs 0 at-bats to get ready.
Yeah, well, I mean, Woodruff, man, I guess Trout missed a lot of times too.
He's on a month, hasn't he?
It's a completely different world. It's a completely different world for pitchers and stuff like that. But Trout, like all we heard with Trout was like, hey, he ran around the field, he played catch, now he's in a game. I don't know. Maybe those are the things that keep getting him hurt. Maybe he should kind of play through and get things going. But I'm not complaining. I'm very glad that he's back. I want to go back just one step real quick. Okay. Are you like a massive buyer right now on Ozzie Albies? Because let's say he's kind of like even back out a tiny bit. Now we're not on the super low. Average is coming back up. 241, 6 homers, 5 stolen bases. Acuna's back in the lineup. Do you want to get out and buy on Albies that he's going to be a top, let's say, 4 second baseman rest of season? Or are you still worried about all the things that got us here that had been kind of tapered down for him?
I don't know if you can still buy low on him after.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of medium. It's like you can't buy super, super low. Yeah, you don't have to do high. He's a guy
that's gone 30, 100, 100 multiple times. And maybe, I don't know, maybe he's just better when Ronald Acuna's around. Maybe that's his buddy, and maybe mentally it takes pressure. I don't know what it is. But all I can tell you is, Acuna wasn't around last year, and Albies slumped. And Acuna's gotten back, and Albies has picked it up again. I don't know. I don't think there's no rhyme or reason for that. But he's done too much good in his career for me to write it off. I'll buy medium on Ozzie Albies. I'm not buying at price, though, still, on principle, because there was enough bad last year and enough bad this first month and a half of the season. But the last couple of weeks are encouraging. But again, this is why you watch the shows. This is why you subscribe to the channel, so you don't have to have these kind of problems. Problems also for the Dodgers bullpen lately with Tanner Scott struggling. Interesting transaction. They acquired Alexis Diaz from the Reds. Now, Diaz, once upon a time, was a closer for the last couple of years. Do you think there's any possibility in deeper leagues where Alexis Diaz is somebody you kind of stash and see if they can get right and maybe starts to work into that closer role for the Dodgers?
Oh, possibilities out there for sure. But I think he's got a little ways to go. His fastball completely tanked. Saris put out a tweet you can see in just a rolling chart of just how bad it had kind of tanked down. I think what they did was they provided themselves with depth, but not a for sure guy. Just a hunch put in there, Kopech, a dark horse for the closer. I completely agree with that because he's out there playing right now that you're going to have, let's say in 2 or 3 weeks, in theory, you could have Kopech, you could have Alexis Diaz, and you could have Tanner Scott in there. And I think they're going to try some other stuff out. They've got to rework Alexis Diaz to get that fastball back, and he has got closer stuff. It just might not be in enough time that a guy like Michael Kopech could take it over, or Tanner Scott gets right. Tanner Scott has had this little clump of these bad blow-ups that I'm not 100% sure will take him out. But I do think when Kopech is active, they might play around with like a leveragey situation. If there's more lefties, maybe Tanner Scott comes in the 8th, and then Kopech can get a save. I'm personally not running to the wire to go pick up Alexis Diaz right now, thinking I'm getting saves next week, because even if he were to be up in the majors, I don't think he's going to be thrust into that role quite yet. And frankly, he might not at all this season. This is a later year type of thing if it happens. Great speculation. Why the hell would any other team not speculate on a guy who's been a former closer unless you can't go and rework? So, I mean, if you got to just fix that fastball, every organization should have guys that can rework this. Why do the Dodgers get to make that? Why they can't keep getting away with this? Like they can't. It's just a Jesse Pinkman here.
Look, I think this is the perfect Tanner Scott buy though, because those people are panicking. They see the Diaz signing. Like this really is the weekend to go buy on Tanner Scott, because I Still think it's hard to imagine what they're paying him that he loses that role. Like it would have to be bad for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Also bad news, and something we were concerned with, Jordan Lawler optioned back down to AAA. So I thought this would be the big guy option that we would be, pulling our hair out about, metaphorically speaking, of course. But when you're looking at Lawler, he just wasn't playing. And I think that was the odd part when they called him up. We all said, well, where's he going to play? Well, we have a plan. We're going to play him 4 days. Yeah, sure you are, buddy. I mean, this is a hot mess here. I mean, very frustrating here for Lawler. Lawler should be a chip that some team goes out there and tries to pry away and give the Diamondbacks something, because I just don't know what else they're going to do with him.
It would be a great point if the Diamondbacks were like a really good team. They're not. They're going to be more likely to go sell off pieces that are going to be coming off the book soon. Zack Gallen, Eugenio Suarez. I don't think so. I don't think
Gallen in his 4.5 ERA.
Well, I mean, if he bounces back, good point. Who wants Sandy Alcantara? They might not be able to, but the Diamondbacks are not good enough where you're going to sell. And I mean, I guess to your point, if there was a trade out there and Lawler was that piece, maybe they think they can just bounce back. But it's a really tough division.
Only 5 games out of the wild card, Welsh.
I think they are going to, in a couple weeks, be closer to sellers than they are going to be buyers. But I just don't know. Your point's valid on Lawler. Like, what are you doing with him? I feel bad because it's like we talk about the insanity he was in AAA. He was one of the best minor leaguers there. But then as soon as he was coming up, I even came on here to say, like, we are going to hold stuff back a little bit because I think there could be value, but we have to temper our expectations. And then Torey Lovullo just lied to our faces. They did not give him the playing time. He also, there's an article that was written about this, that there was some clear breaking ball struggles against righties that he had in AAA that got completely exploited at the major leagues, where all he did was strike out, had no hits, offensively looked like a mess. And we're like 3 years into this thing with him. So it is messy. It's dirty. I don't know what the trade value would look like. And I think the Diamondbacks are in a weird spot. But as I was asked about a week ago, someone was like, hey, how much longer of a leash should I hold on Lawler? You shouldn't, because he wasn't getting the playing time. And he's been optioned again for Vargas, whatever the first thing, like it's ridiculous where he's at right now.
Who's that prospect again?
Vargas.
It's like that
Steve Carell.
Charles Nixon, whatever that other guy.
The password.
Yeah, the password. Here's a question from Kevmo. Was offered $6 Caminero, $5 Yuri Perez for my $23 Reagans and $8 Shaw in a keeper points league. Do you just do the Caminero for Reagans or Shaw for Perez individually too? I feel like I answered this question once before already. So Kev really wants this answer. Maybe it was on the Twitter machine. So Welsh, what's your take on this one?
I think like Reagans is a little bit more of like a win-ish now piece, but I mean, I want in a vacuum, I kind of want Caminero Perez. If you're rebuilding at all, absolute no-brainer. But you can Reagans for Caminero. That's a total keeper piece trade. I'd rather have Yuri over Matt Shaw. So yeah, I like that. Yeah. I like that side.
Yeah, I'm on the Caminero side too. Sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't make. Let's get to the rookie Lookie here. Angels prospect, who Welsh was just mentioning earlier this week, Christian Moore. 2 for 5, 2 ribbies, runs scored on AAA yesterday in Salt Lake City. He's now 13 for 31, a 419 batting average in his last 8 games in AAA. He's got a homer and 10 RBIs with 3 stolen bases. So if you need some help in second base world in some of your deeper leagues, Moore might be a stash right now, Welsh.
I completely agree. Think he will be up in the near-ish future. I think they also let go of Tim Anderson because you brought in Chris Taylor into the fold. But, Christian Moore, he's kind of figured it out. AA was this weird thing. It's also not a thing that the Angels do a lot. They usually don't send guys to AAA, and they've let him figure things out. I think they're finally doing the right thing where they're going to really want him to be prepared. I would expect him in the next month or so. He's going to be a guy that we're going to see. And, as this team kind of falls apart a little bit, probably going to move on to some pieces. Do you really need Yoan Moncada? Did you need Tim Anderson? Get those guys, push those guys to the side and let guys like Christian Moore get playing time.
This is funny. Goal Monkey. I was watching, catching up on Jeopardy, and last night, Justin Nixon, Garcia was a clue on Monday, and I knew the answer from watching this show. There you go. See, we're making people smarter here on leading off. This is what we do. Now, you're not going to see Cole Young probably anytime soon for the Mariners. At least I don't think so. But just want to say, he was 5 for 6 with 2 runs. Well, he's blocked. Another guy, Crawford's there. Why, you think they're going to move on from Crawford? I don't.
No, I don't. Well, no, but Crawford, is their shortstop. Cole Young
Cole Young is a shortstop.
Definitely more prone to be a second baseman. This is
okay.
funny that this one was brought up because I've had him on this like long list of redraft prospects, but hadn't done anything with it. He is murder balling everything in AAA. And there had been some rumors that had floated around about him coming up to the majors. I actually think like next week, we're going to have a talk about him on Prospecting with the Welsh, because I think we're getting close. I really do think we're getting close. And I think he played second base in the AFL. He moved over there. He got hurt a little bit. He's played a ton of second base because they also have Colt Emerson, who's on that team, who is I don't want to say world-class, but a higher class defensive shortstop. So Cole Young can definitely move over and be a second baseman. And you got Polanco over at third. I think it's it's doable.
He's hurt and he's done nothing for, a while.
Well, and they had Ryan Bliss. He had Ryan Bliss at second base before he got hurt.
Polanco just completely tanked. Now, I know he was hurt too, but I like the tease. For prospecting with the Welsh. Christian Moore, Cole Young. We got some new names. I don't want to talk about Bubba Chandler anymore Monday. If I show up and Bubba Chandler is in that sheet for any reason besides he got called up, we're going to have words.
You and Cody in Anaheim both don't want to talk about
9 runs. Thomas Harrington, 9 runs, 9 hits, and 3 2/3. Not a good outing for him. Brady House of the Nationals, though, 2 hits, a homer, 2 walks in AAA. David Festa, 5 scoreless in AAA. By the way, House just putting this out there, 9 for 21 with 2 homers, 2 doubles in his last 5 games. So he's really heating up. He does strike out a little bit, but a guy to keep an eye on. Blade Tidwell of the Mets system, 11 strikeouts in 5 2/3 for AAA Syracuse. Also for the Mets, Ronnie Mauricio homered again, reached base 3 more times, and now he's hitting .560 Welsh with 3 homers in 7 games. Mauricio is definitely pushing for some kind of opportunity sooner than later, so he might be another stash. Kumar Rocker, 4 innings for him, struck out 5 in AAA. He's going to be back soon. And then our friend, Jack Caglione, who brings us to today's Microsoft Chasing Challengers segment. That's right, because just like the athletes who push boundaries and redefine what's possible, business decision makers today are turning challenges into opportunities, and Microsoft meets you all where y'all are, with tools and guidance to help make you impact with safe, secure AI solutions. Whatever challenges you're facing, Microsoft empowers you to the expertise to say, bring it on. And in this segment today, we're going to spotlight the challenges faced by the Royals, keeping Jack Caglione down for another day. Just another day. 3 for 4 yesterday for Jack Caglione. It just never stops. He never stops hitting. And he had a double yesterday in the game. He is just absolutely raked in AAA. And what are you doing right now if you're the Royals? Like, what do you have to lose? I understand the control. I understand, like, we've got to wait till June. But the minute the clock strikes midnight on Super 2, you must, Kansas City Royals, give this guy a chance. I don't care if he strikes out. You need to give him an opportunity. You are 27th in runs scored. The only teams worse than you offensively are the Rangers, Pirates, and Rockies. Come on, and you were a team that was in the playoffs last year. Do not wait. As soon as you can get past whatever BS Super 2 deadline it is for Jack Caglione, and I get it, Royals, you're the Royals, and you're going to royal. Give this guy an opportunity. I want to see Jack Caglione in the major leagues. I don't care if it's rough. I don't care if he strikes out. He is hitting a ton, and he's hitting a ton of homers. So bring him up. Don't wait. Don't be cheap. Give us what we want. Thank you very much. And remember, Chasing Challengers segment is brought to you by Microsoft's AI solutions that empower you to take bold steps and have new ideas to help drive your business forward. With Microsoft as your trusted partner, you can navigate your journey with confidence, finding innovative solutions and reaching new possibilities. Visit Microsoft.com/challengers to learn more. Welsh, am I wrong or am I right about this Caglione thing? Like, come on.
You're like, am I not wrong or am I right? And so, yeah, no, I agree.
Tails I win, heads you lose. I mean, Jack Caglione should be up.
There's a report out from some of the like Royal blogs that are kind of connected and stuff that we might be in a 2-week window of Cags. Yeah. Anything can happen, of course, but he's working with some of the, some of the higher end coaches working on the outfield. He's been in the outfield.
I know.
I didn't want to say his name. I didn't want to say his name.
I actually have an autograph of this player. I had a jersey of this player because it was a player that was beloved by me and a good friend of mine in high school. And it was an ongoing bit. It was. I
wonder why he was beloved.
Rusty Kuntz, who played for the Royals and he played for the White Sox.
Rusty Kuntz, but yeah.
Rusty Kuntz, K-U
Kuntz.
There's no N in there. Oh no, there isn't.
Yeah, there
no,
isn't.
it's Kuntz. Yeah, Rusty.
No, but keep saying it how you're saying it.
Rusty Kuntz. That's his name. It's his name. It's not Kuntz. It's not an O. There's no double O in there. It's a U. It's okay. We're not gonna get canceled for this.
I was trying to avoid. I literally didn't say his name.
I was
just
trying to bring it up, and I forgot, and you saved me from forgetting. So now I'm really excited because that's a pro's pro. He's out there, and you know what? If you can't learn something new from Rusty Kuntz, then you're lost. And Jack Caglione's learning from one of the best. He's been there forever. He's been around forever. You know, he's played on lots of teams. He's been around. Let me tell you, Rusty has been around the major leagues for many years. That's all I have to say.
You got me. You got me.
That's his name.
Yeah, Rusty.
Just like that, the guy's name we can't pronounce. That's just his name.
Who? Dick Fitz?
Well, more on him maybe later in the show. Fun fact, Kenta Maeda gave up 9 runs yesterday. He just got 3 outs in his start at AAA. Oh, poor Kenta Maeda.
As he does.
3 up and 3 down. Luis Garcia, 4 hits, drove in 2 runs. Nice to see him have a good day. Austin Riley, 2 for 3, a double and a homer, 2 walks, and 4 ribbies. And Chandler Simpson, who was in the ups, got sent down. This is terrible. 3 stolen bases yesterday, 1 for 4 with a walk, a run scored. I mean, 3 steals. The downs. Ryan Gusto struggled, obviously. Not a good night for him. Jordan Romano walked 3 guys, but he didn't give up a run. Somehow came away with the save. Romano is not the answer. Phillies right back to square one. And you know, the other interesting thing, Welsh, and I was just looking at this when we were talking about the standings of teams. When you check out, you look at the standings page, you could see how teams have done against teams that are over 500. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
The Phillies are just 13-12, where the Mets are 18-10 against teams over 500. I think that matters, and I think that's a really interesting stat that when push comes to shove here for the Phillies, I still believe in the Phillies pitching is going to be good enough to win over that division, but I'm still terrified that bullpen's not going to be enough, and they got to make a move, and I just don't know where it's coming from.
I think they need to make a move in the rotation, but yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Where's the closer coming from? Like, you're going to make Ranger Suarez your closer? I don't think so.
Oh, you're talking about the Phillies. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about the Mets.
Phillies.
Yeah, 100%. They
Phillies
need more bullpen help.
Because Alvarado is not coming back for the playoffs. You know, he's ineligible.
One of the things that can happen is what they're going to do with Andrew Painter. Another prospect you want to talk about. Andrew Painter has been lights out. He's in AAA. He's getting up to 70 pitches. Would they possibly kind of diminish that to be maybe in like a bullpen role to, like the old Chris Sale, like have him in relief for a year? I actually think that's a possibility. He's throwing a lot of cutters, fastballs. He can up his velo, or do you put him in the rotation and then do you throw somebody? I mean, Ranger doesn't really make sense. So I'm really not sure what you do, but you could kind of move that through. But I don't know. Andrew Painter is going to make it kind of weird too.
Did you see the discussion about our beloved Rusty we didn't, but the chat got flagged in Twitch for commenting.
Did they really?
It's Friday, everybody. Lighten up. It's fun. Jacob Lopez. He's
spelled with a K, by the way. If you guys want to not get flagged,
Kuntz.
It's not
That's
a C.
how you say it.
You animals.
Jacob Lopez, 7 runs, 6 hits, and an inning and 2/3. He's been terrible. The Athletics pitching's been terrible. What more can I say? I thought the A's were going to be fun. They started off fun, and now they've just absolutely fell apart. But maybe some good news as JJ Bleday went 4 for 5 with a double, stolen base. He's floating around. You might want to pick him up if you need some outfield help, because Austin Hayes went on the IL, 10 days for him with a left foot contusion. Logan Gilbert, 1 run and 1 2/3 innings in AAA. And Colton Cowser, rehabbing from a broken thumb, had 3 doubles in 4 at-bats. So JJ Bleday, I want to go back to him for a second, Welsh, because was it Denzel Clark? Is that who the guy they brought up there?
Mm-hmm.
Right? He has like 48 strikeouts and 48 at-bats, I think, or something. Soderstrom's completely stopped hitting. I've seen a lot of Soderstrom stuff in the chat. You're welcome, everybody, for those of you who traded him at the 1st of May. But the Athletics are in a bad spot right now. Butler's come around, but all of a sudden Kurtz got hurt. Soderstrom stopped hitting. The pitching's just been terrible. And I don't know if there's a way out of this for the Athletics. Do you?
Well, they've got a lot of guys in the minors. I mean, Bleday was, if you're alluding to that JJ Bleday is going to be up soon, he was just sent down because he was part of the problem. he could definitely come back up. But they've also got this guy, Henry Bolt, fantastic baseball name. Really good player, power speed combination. Colby Thomas, players that I thought would actually be up before Denzel Clark and probably will be up soon in place of Denzel Clark because, as you mentioned, he has a 78% K percentage. That's tough to do. It's a short sample size, but it's hard to strike out almost 80% of the time. Henry Bolt, Colby Thomas, I think the A's are messy. They're kind of wrecking shop here, changing the whole thing out. But JJ Bleday was part of the problem. So I'm not 100% sure he's going to be the first to go to. So I actually think it should be Colby Thomas. And he's a big power bat. We'll see. But I think over the next month, if these things keep falling apart, they're going to just start designating. And guys like Miguel Andujar or JJ Bleday, I think those are the ones that could get optioned in place of this plethora of outfield prospects at AAA that they have.
Wonky Penguin says Baseball Reference says his name is pronounced Kuntz.
Yeah,
sure.
How I was saying it. And
I'm old enough to remember Phil Rizzuto and many other announcers in the 80s, in the early 80s of my youth when he was playing. They did not pronounce it that way. Nobody did. They just accepted it and they moved on, and that was it. One of my favorite things too is listening. I remember as a kid trying to listen to Ralph Kiner pronounce anyone's name that was not American. The funniest thing ever. Like, because he was usually drunk somewhere around the 4th or 5th inning of most games, and hilarious. I remember there was a catcher on the Cubs named Hector Villanueva. This is a true story. Have I ever told this story to you, Welsh?
Don't think
Hector
so.
Villanueva story? All right, this is a great story, and then we'll move on. So there was a big, hefty catcher, right? He was a big guy, and his name was Hector Villanueva. And Ralph Kiner, the first time he got him, he goes, "That'll bring to the plate Villanueva. He's fresh up from AAA, blah blah blah." He just didn't quite get it. Second time up, it's a true story. That'll bring up the Cubs catcher Hector Villanueva. 0 for 1 on the day. The third time he came up, he goes, "That'll bring up the hefty catcher from the Cubs." Because he was a big boy.
Should we bring back drunk analysts? Should that be like, who is the last true drunk in the booth? I think it's Mark Grace, but
that's a good one.
I think it's Mark Grace.
Yeah. You know what? I'm all for that. It makes the Harry Doyle School of Broadcasting. I want open for business.
Yeah, I mean, Harry Carey was like the epitome of it, but like Mark Grace is the last like getting lit during a game announcer that I can remember. It's all very straight laced now. Very straight laced.
It is. There's very little room for error, and everyone's name is Kuntz, even though it's not spelled that way. Kuntz. All right. Let's get to our best bets
of Friday
with Joey P and the Welsh. David Peterson. That's David Peterson, damn it. Over 6.5 strikeouts, plus 108 today against who? The Colorado Rockies. Why? Because they're the worst. They can't hit anywhere, anytime, any place. They're terrible. And Peterson's been pretty solid. They strike out a ton, and Peterson's been really solid. You're getting plus money. I'm going to take it today. You could pair that with the Mets on the money line as well if you want to increase that. But I've got another bet for you with the other team from across town that's traveling across the country, and that's the Yankees on the run line tonight with Max Fried against the Dodgers. That's right. On the run line, I said it, minus 1.5 at plus 120 for the Yankees to beat the Dodgers in their own building. And Aaron Judge with an RBI, minus 105. You put those two things together for a little same game parlay, you get plus 213. Those are my bets for Fun Friday. How about you, Welsh? What do you have?
Let's go plus money. San Diego run line, minus 1.5. We got Nick Pivetta going. We have Mitch Keller, but the Pirates stinky. San Diego run line minus 1.5. Really like that one. We're going to go with Merle Kelly over 4.5 strikeouts. Essentially the number 2 pitcher for the Diamondbacks, because they've only got 2 right now. It's Corbin Burns, him, and then everything else is blah. 4.5 strikeouts, minus 120. Nationals can get a little bit tougher, but bottom of that lineup, I think it's going to be a little bit more susceptible. And Merrill's been going deeper into games. And then I like an alt line play, Max Fried. Max Fried at 6 strikeouts is plus 135 today. Going up against, obviously, a Dodger team where if he's getting touched up, that's the problem. But the Dodgers are going to strike out. They are going to strike out. Max Fried has been one of the best pitchers in baseball so far this year. I love an alt line at this plus money. So San Diego and the Fried one really jumped out as far as just the plus money odds you're going to get back. Kelly, little bit maybe riskier, but like I said, him going deeper into games really plays well here. So a couple K props, San Diego run line. Let's do it.
Let's do it. And don't forget to remember it's Friday. I mean, this is where we are right now. Don't forget, make sure you remember FantasyPros.com/leading off on FanDuel. New customers place their first bet, $5. You get $250 in bonus bets when you win. Make sure you go do that today, FantasyPros.com/leading off. And make sure you're using the tools like the prop bet cheat sheet. If you're looking to bet props this weekend, well, the prop bet cheat sheet for MLB shows you the best value plays every day. You could sort them by whatever prop you're looking for, strikeout, hits, home runs, you name it. We've got it. And you can use it now at bettingpros.com/MLB props or on the Betting Pros app. And if you download the Betting Pros app, you get 7 free days of premium when you use the promo code leading off. All right, Welsh, let's look at the home run board and see where we're at. You got another one yesterday. Look at you, back up to 17.
Hey,
19. Ayo. I believe I should be at 13 now. So I want to say 13. We can get the official number there on the count. Oh, I'm at 14. I'm selling.
Wow,
short every time.
You're right there, man. If I hadn't got that homer yesterday, I would just be gripping for life onto that board.
You'd be 19 over Cookie Chubbs right now. Georgie is still at the top, far out, right behind number 2, 25 and 23 homers respectively. So I am 2 homers away from that board. I'm coming for you, board. Let's go. Sammy Sosa jersey on the line, autographed by Sammy Sosa, not Sammy Sousa. Just want to point out, it's an O sound because there's an O in there. Now, I took speech in college as part of my conservatory acting program. I understand the difference between a diphthong and a liquid U and all of those kinds of things. And I'm just telling you, Sosa, S-O-S-A. That's how it's pronounced with the O in there. So
was there an argument? Was there an argument to how it was said?
I think people are wondering about my pronunciation skills today. I think they're questioning it. I don't think they should be questioning.
Oh, it doesn't feel great. Oh, Joeisms?
I think they just don't like the way it sounds, and that's unfortunate because, life is life sometimes.
Pieces of pieces. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so great.
Don't remember. Yeah, that is a Welshism. Don't remember. Make sure you forget. That's a Brunoism. There you go. All right, Welsh, why don't you go first today? So you got a little pressure on you now because I'm putting on some pressure.
I do.
I said I'd get to that home run board before I left, and I'm getting real close.
Oh, are you leaving soon? Where are we going to lose you soon?
That should be my last day. When I go right to football full time.
No, it's getting closer to that. Actually, I was tempted to go with your guy here. I'm going to go with Fernando Tatis, kind of picking on the Pirates here. This is an in perpetuity unless I do end up making a change. I found the slate kind of a little bit difficult today, even though, there's a couple pitchers you could absolutely pick on. Trying to go with just like a big bat going into the weekend. So Fernando Tatis, I even kind of considered Manny Machado, but I think we're going to get a nice weekend of Mr. Tatis Jr., and that's my play.
All right. Wonky said, when is the last time you both hit a home run the same day? I think it happened once earlier this year.
Oh, I think that happens more often than not.
He does. I think, but only once so far this year. This is definitely only the second time.
When's the last time we both been on the board in, let's say, May 1st on?
Last year.
I don't.
Both on the board because you got that. I remember I was red hot to start the year. I was like top 5 for a while, and then I got stone cold, and then you started climbing up. I want to say June, end of June, early July.
I would almost argue. I'm not sure if. My recollection is we've never been on the board May 1st and beyond together, because you're right. I was ice cold last year and you were red hot, and then we went in different directions, but I don't know if it crossed on the board at all. Someone could tell me differently, but I'm not sure if we've been on the board together in quite some time.
Sports says we chose the same guy and hit on the same. Yes, it was the same player. I don't remember who it was. Yeah. Was it Trout or something stupid like that? I feel it was like Fernando Tatis or
some dummy. But getting different players that's nice. Look at us.
So you're with Tatis. I'm with Pete Alonso this weekend against the Colorado Rockies. Yeah. I think Polar Bear is going to get me at least one, maybe two tonight. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. So that's going to be a fun time. So we went long today because it's a fun Friday and there was a lot to talk about. Big injuries, obviously pronunciation of names, a lot of prospect stuff. So hit that waiver wire hard this weekend and figure it out. It was Aaron Judge last week. There you go. So we both got a Judge home
There
run.
you go.
See? Fun things happening. There you go. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For the Welsh, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids. Don't forget to remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Right?
And then I'll roll out. And my self-care. No Mac Miller? Nothing?
Nope. I told you. Not a thing.